Well, hello everyone. Now I tried to do a review of this right as it came in, did kind of an unboxing, and I really hated the video, so it never kind of went up. But realized I hadn't really talked about it. So this is the Worksharp Precision Edge Elite Upgrade kind of thing here. So yeah, we do have a nice case that comes with it that I do appreciate. And when you open it up, there is technically a piece of foam that can go here to protect this sort of stuff. But hey, this just kind of keeps things in a little bit nicer, kind of compact sort of thing. So we got a little buckle here. You got the base. There's your little adjustable thing, and your little clamp there. Oh, that comes in the normal one here. And then over here in the net, we have a lot, besides the case, of the new stuff going on here. So, initially, you have basically what I ended up pulling off of this and whatnot. But you had this original one here with the steel ball bearing sort of thing. That's the magnet that will hook all up when it wants to into the magnet there. Come on, buddy. He's apparently shy without being on the stand or something like that. I'm not sure. It's probably just going to make a little bit of a click noise. There we go. Yep. And it's a little floppy and whatnot. I think that was some things that caused some people like Nick Shabazz to go, it's kind of iffy compared to the KME, even though it's a quarter the price. So, there is certainly that. Now, I've taken that rod, and that's what I've put their stropping attachment on that comes in the kit. Also, the other side here is an itty-bitty little tiny bit of ceramic for trying to sharpen serrations. This doesn't quite work for me. Maybe if it was the full length of that or something like that, it might help a little bit. But I was barely getting absolutely any kind of movement before I'd either hit either side of that, and then you're not actually grinding on it or whatnot. But, okay. So, what ends up coming in here, we have a few of these tri-brasive rod things, and you'll notice that the little little magnet thing here is encased in a plastic thing rather than the steel one from the original one. But because of that, it has a lot less movement, so it doesn't jiggle about and whatnot. It actually feels a little bit more sturdy, even though it's basically about the same thing. Just a little captive thing under there. And this one is the one that excites me the most. This has a 220 grit diamond that goes to the 320 that's on the normal ones, and a 400 grit. All those are diamonds, so that's nice. And then we also have another one here, and this one has 600 grit, 800 grit, and ceramic. Now you'll have the ceramic and I want to say the 600 on the initial one there that you would get with the standard kit. And this is basically an amalgamation that I've made up of the original holder for the tri-brasive that I don't actually keep in the kit now because it's not necessarily needed. But I did have one of the 3D printed ones that I use for my stropping or lapping films, whatever. Yeah, so I got 6 micron. The diamond is 1 micron, and this is a half micron. That's also diamond. This one's silicon carbide. They end up cutting a little bit better than aluminum oxide, that are a little bit easier and cheaper to get a hold of. So there's that. And yeah, you get this plate that kind of tries to keep them organized. It's actually kind of a pain in the ass to get these things snapped all back in and everything like that. And because I don't really have too many people barking at me for leaving my things about, I usually just leave these things kind of clumped up together rather than putting it all back in its case. But hey, it's nice that it's there in case I need to go somewhere else. Let's see. I suppose, yep, the case here is pretty nice in general. This is just a very cheap little shell of a thing there, which makes sense. It's mostly designed for the shipping of it to you, but hey, it works. And yes, this is still basically a budget version of a clamp-based system, even though I think on average it goes for right around the same price that the Lansky does and has for a long time. So, something that, I'd gone over that these guys kind of have a upgraded or side-graded sort of thing going on there. So that is super nice. From my experience so far, some of the extra diamond abrasives don't really seem incredibly necessary, but hey, it made sense for what they were doing. 220 made sense, and the 320, hey, that's good or whatever. The 400 I do find to be a little superfluous. And as such, I also kind of find the 800 doesn't really get much finer before you end up going to the ceramic, which I don't know exactly what they classify this one as, whether it's 1,000 or 1,500. But yeah, they don't seem to add a huge amount of advantage to it, and in some cases, especially the 400, will get some kind of like striation kind of looks to the mirror polish that you're trying to achieve. So there's that. Yeah, I got the upgrade kit, which means it did not come out of the box with the actual thing or the C-clamp, which kind of wish that it did, but it didn't. So I just basically got the rods with the tri-brasive things on there and the case. And it's $70, which is more than the system is by itself. I think that's probably a little overkill, but yeah, it's I guess it's the standard version of this guy, the non-elite version, is $49.95 or whatever. Most places, I guess MSRP is $60, but it sells for $50 basically everywhere. And then, yes, this upgrade kit is another $70, or you can get it all together for $110 or $120, somewhere right around in there. And just for the upgrade thing, it did seem like it was just a little bit too expensive. Like, I understand, yeah, it's another SKU and whatnot. It's probably not quite as cost effective for trying to ship that out just by itself without trying to recoup some of the costs from the full set and all that sort of stuff, I suppose. But it is still kind of steep as an upgrade for something that you've already paid an amount of money that you were happy with, to then pay over that price again, basically just for a carrying case and some extra rods. I think that's probably a little bit more expensive, but I guess that's mostly me complaining about the upgrade kit. If I was to buy the whole thing all together for that $110 or $120, yeah, I think that would be all right. So something that did kind of make me a little bit sad is, yeah, my little C-clamp has had a little bit of grindage problems due to mostly me trying to sharpen at a 15-degree angle on some things that didn't quite have enough clearance on this. However, they are going to end up selling these guys separately, and they're like $20, which I think that's fair. It is basically one of the most machined parts of the whole kit, so it does make sense that it would be a little bit of money. So that's nice. Also, they listing these guys, they have listed, they're out of stock, all of this stuff, but they have listed all of these new replacement stones on their site for purchase for $7 or $8 a piece, which is great. I've purchased a ton of the replacement 320s from the original kit because a lot of times when I'm using this, I'm establishing a new profile on there. So yeah, reprofiling takes a lot more work, and I'm looking forward to being able to purchase 220s for that instead of 320s. And that should work out pretty well. So that's nice. Yeah, I mean, overall, this is still my sharpener of choice, even though I have a KME. I have an Apex Pro 4 and the Ken Onion Worksharp belt grinder with the belt grinding attachment and all that sort of stuff, which I also use quite a bit for the reprofiling sort of stuff. But yeah, for that nice final edge, this is still pretty much the one that I end up going to. Yeah, the only real complaint that I really could come up with is that the Elite upgrade is probably a bit overpriced and will probably end up dropping down just a little bit, hopefully for, this holiday season or whatnot. That would be pretty sweet to see, and or just having a deal on the whole Elite kit altogether. That would be fantastic because this thing really does do absolutely fantastic edges on pretty much anything that I can throw at it, except for serrations. This was kind of an afterthought that really doesn't work out all that well, but that's fine. I tried basically to sharpen my Henkel's Pro S bread knife on there, and they have very wavy kind of serrations on there, not super spiky or whatnot. But yeah, you get like millimeters worth of movement back and forth before you end up clearing either side of that. If they did have that longer, and or if this piece, because it was newly molded, it wasn't used from these original ones that hold the tri-brasive rods, they could have made it take up the whole width of this along with the stropping sort of guy here. And that would have probably made it a heck of a lot better, I think, for a lot of that sort of stuff. Yeah, I mean, the strop as well, it was nice. It came loaded with green compound that wasn't really heavily buffed into the leather. So as you can see, like I've just used it a little bit, and about half of it's actually gone. At some point here relatively quickly, I'm actually going to strip all of that off and put some more compound on there. Now I could use some more of the... well, they used to be in that drawer. Yeah, now I could use some of their stropping compound. Hey, this is actually branded by Worksharp. I got this with some of their belts for buffing or whatnot. So I could use that, but I also do have some other stuff that I think is probably a little bit more interesting. And that's some of these diamond compounds. This is 200,000 grit. And this one's 100,000. And yeah, this one's got 25% diamond powder. This one's a little bit more at 50%. The rest of the crap in here is not really all that important. We got a little cleaning brush. We got some blue lube, Benchmade lubricant, which oddly enough I usually use for toning and conditioning micarta rather than actually using it as a lubricant. I got some Noctua thermal compound for PC parts and whatnot. Yeah, so all the rest of the stuff in there, if you were curious, isn't super important or interesting or anything like that, but hey, it's there. Alright, so there are basically my thoughts there on the Elite upgrade. I think it's a little bit expensive just for the upgrade of what you get with a case and essentially this. But that being said, this is still an absolutely fantastic sharpener, and if you get it as a whole set, I think the value kind of speaks a little bit more to that in general. So there you go. I do feel a little bit better about this one than me trying to fumble through the unboxing and trying to figure some things out and whatnot. Mostly how to put everything back together in this case, which isn't all that difficult, but you know, when you're trying to do something on the fly on camera, obviously everything goes wrong, and I was putting things upside down and whatnot, and I just felt like an idiot. So you know, I do that on a daily basis, but I don't really need to broadcast that out into the internet any more than is absolutely necessary. So yeah, I just decided to axe the video and forgot about it. So here we are. Yeah, overall, really do like the whole system as a whole. But if you already don't have one of these, then the Elite kit is probably the way to go. If you already do have this, it might make a little bit more sense to try to piecemeal together some of the stuff from parts that they have on their site, and it might save you a couple of bucks. I'm not quite sure. You won't get the case for it, but you'll probably be able to get, you know, the tri-brasives and the rods and all that sort of stuff. All right. Well, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. I accidentally stabbed myself a few days ago. Stupid knife. All right. Yep.